All right. Then
the public created Area 51, and there's going to be a question I know come up about, did they move Area 51? No. That was a mock thing to get some of the... There was too many people crowded at Area 51, so they wanted them to make them believe that they moved everything, and they moved some things so they were insignificant. But the significance still is there. But I'll tell you what really surprises me, if you go on Google Earth and type in Area 51, it will take you straight to it, and you can see the portal entrances.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't know that.
No, I did not know. And I tell you what, if you see a picture of that, why email, or you have a picture, email it to me.
No, you just go to Google Earth and type in Area 51, and it takes you right to it, and you can see Groom Lake right up close.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can scan every inch of it, and you can see the runways but you can see these little entrances that go underground.
Okay.
I was really shocked. I just did it one day, just thinking, well, I know it ain't there, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And bam, it came up.
Well, they can't hide, can they?
No, but you know, and then Google Earth. Here's another thing. Google Earth. You don't hear much about what they do or anything, but one day I'm open up my email, and there's a letter on to me that Google Earth sent me, and it says that now we are putting, what was it, something about Jerusalem, but it was a key place. I believe it was the holy place in Jerusalem was now available for view. In other words, where the devil's supposed to make his pact. Now, why would they just advertise that? They don't advertise nothing ever. There's Google updates, but why would they advertise that? I mean, folks, there's really a lot of things are so available on the internet and so open that a man doesn't really have to spy or hide or really dig very deep to find out what you want to find out. I found out some incredible things on YouTube that, as far as I was concerned, were classified as top secret or crypto top secret, some of it. And then I'm looking at YouTube, and dang, there it is. I'm thinking to myself, man, that's top secret. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I'd get killed if I were to tell somebody, show somebody that. And so there's just, you know, if you really want to dig into it, but I urge you, please be prayed up. Don't take for granted that you're powerful enough to just step into that realm, because even dabbling into that stuff, you know, they mark you. You don't think you're being monitored? What do you think, Daniel? Do you think that they're not monitoring your show all the time? Really?
Well, you know, we did have an episode where Alan Watt was talking to us, and he got disconnected, and when he called back, he called our 800 number, and he got the NSA.
Yeah, I remember that. Alan Watts is double-minded. I heard an interview, not on your show, but on another show, where he was denying that Jesus Christ was God. I couldn't believe it. He sure was.
Yeah. Hey, we got some more questions here. Now, earlier we were asking, were you in the room with Reptilians? What did they say? And the listener says he wasn't quite clear. What did the Reptilians say?
That's what I was trying to get at. I really don't know, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's so shocking. I couldn't pay attention to anything. All I know is that a general, every once in a while, or somebody would say, "Do you agree, Major?" And I go, yeah. I don't know what they're talking about. And I know people are saying, well, if I was there, yeah, right. Well, you put yourself face to face with one of these things and see how you act. God Almighty, I didn't even believe they existed, let alone, you know, I seen them, and I thought maybe they were trying to fool me or something, but when I seen it face to face, buddy, that was no hologram, I can promise you that, and you are fixated on that thing, and I mean, how are you going to listen to a conversation? Be honest with me. Say when he comes in you're interviewing somebody live face to face, and all of a sudden he shapeshifts in front of you. What are you going to ask him then? You're going to be so perplexed you can't even talk. So I get that question all the time, and I tell people, I don't know what he was talking about, man. I was scared to death. I was thinking, man, I'm watched.
Let me ask you something, Lieutenant Colonel. Should Bible-believing Christians even look into the idea or even care if there are UFOs uncloaking and flying around? Does that
I don't think that should be their focus. Mm-hmm. No, I don't. I think that they should be aware of it so that they don't get caught up in the deception. I think there's room for study for it only if you realize that they are demons and don't try to reason with it. Don't try to reason with these things. That's the deception. You'll get sucked right into it because they have theologies and all these things they talk about and their agendas that are pretty darn convincing, and I believe that probably some of your prophets would definitely agree with me that don't mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, it's all right to study and stuff, but I wouldn't fixate myself on it, or they'll do anything to take your eyes off Christ. And to me, anything that, and it took me a long time because every man in the face of this earth is double-minded, and that's a fact. And that is something that I tell people, the race to be perfect is this. Let's say that there was a highway that led into space and never ended, and there was no reward at the end, and there was no stopping, and you weren't racing against anybody, but yet God still asks you to run that race. It's just something that you keep going and going and going, and don't expect no reward because there's no end to it until He comes. There's no end to it. So do I fixate myself on the UFOs? No. Once I find out they're my enemy and they're dangerous, they are very dangerous. They're not here to do any good. They're here to do harm. They're here to eat you. Then that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
Okay, so how do they harvest humans? Do they come down and abduct them, or do they...
Yes, they do. They abduct them and they let them pregnate, but they are able to achieve taking them out of the womb before it even shows. Here's a test tube.
Okay, we had a guest on, Sherry Schreiner, once said that they came down and they gathered up the bodies down in Katrina. That was like a smorgasbord, I suppose.
I believe that's possible. Sherry Schreiner doesn't really strike me very much. I know a whole lot more than she does. I don't know what else she saw, and I respect her and everything, but there's a lot of flaw in her that I know for a fact that she speculates on, and I know it's fact. And I'm like Benjamin. Benjamin doesn't like to speculate either. I would talk to him if it was speculation. He'd tell me just let's just not even talk about it if it's speculation. Do you know this for fact? No, it's just I don't want to speculate.
Mm-hmm.
And so she bases a lot of things on speculation, and there's a lot of rumors going on. But I can tell you this: I've got documents where I've told about Katrina. Based on what God told me, 3 weeks before it was even a cloud by name and everything, and mist